Hi guys, it's Brit, and it's raining and thundering outside, so if you hear it, I'm sorry, but I can't really control the weather. Anyway, I was feeling kind of down at the moment, so I decided to make a video about things that might make me a little happier. But so naturally, we're going to talk about Theon Greyjoy. And Theon, my predictions for Theon. Um, Everybody since the first season 7, there's spoiler alert. There's this picture going around that um, it has. There's a couple. There's clips too, I think, but there's a picture of Theon getting beaten up by the Ironborn men, and then there's another picture of Theon in having some sort of interaction with Jon. And so a lot of people seem to think that, whoa, that was lightning. I don't know if you saw that. But a lot of people seem to think that Theon is going, from this picture, a lot of people seem to think that Theon is he's fleeing the scene out of cowardice, and I don't think that's the case. A lot of people speculate, and not everybody, but just making a grand generalization here. But people seem to think that the Ironborn men are beating him up because of Yara getting captured, and maybe he let Yara get captured, or they blame Theon for Yara getting captured, or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. I think that Euron has attacked a ship, and obviously from other photos we know that he has Yara. But I don't think this is because Theon just turned bitch and fled. I think a lot of people are under the misconception that Theon is a coward, when I think that couldn't it is the farthest thing from the truth. I think Theon is one of the bravest characters on Game of Thrones, maybe with the exception of Tyrion or Jon, but they are those characters are exceedingly brave. And I just don't think that if it's Theon's character to just abandon ship and run because Euron is attacking. I think that the Ironborn men are attacking him because they have no respect for Theon. That's evident in when he sieges Winterfell. With Yara there, it's really difficult to. Oh my goodness! Can you guys hear that? I don't know. With Yara, it's easier to keep the men in line because Yara has established that she is worthy of respect. And Theon has not really been given the chance to show that he is also worthy of respect, though I hope that he does, because, like I said, I think he's a very brave man. Like, what he did for Sansa was very, very brave. Or Jane, if you want to go by book canon. But what he did was brave. And it just seems weird that people would speculate that Theon has just jumped ship or fled And I don't think that a lot of people take the time to really look at Theon as somebody who struggles their entire life. And with Yara being captured, there's nothing holding those men back. They can take a lot out on Theon, and they could just be frustrated that their captain got taken. And while Theon is not nearly as meek as he has been the past few seasons, because now he's free of Ramsay, and Yara has clearly helped him with all of that, like manipulation and stuff. I think we're going to see a big change in Theon this season. And, of course, Alfie could be trolling Alfie Allen, who plays Theon. He has said in interviews that we might see Theon a little angry, and if the spoilers are true, and they have taken his sister, I'm sure that while they weren't very close at one point, I'm sure they have developed some sort of bond beyond their obvious familial ties. So that's going to play a huge part, and I think Theon is going to be angry at Euron for taking the only family that he has left, the only family that accepted him as family, that showed him any sort of support. So no, I don't think Theon is just going to flee. I think Yara has instructed him, take the troops, get them on a beach, and leave me. I will take care of Euron. Just get these men, because Yara has some really loyal Ironborn men in her fleet. And she's going to want to keep those loyal men. So it makes sense to me, because Theon arrives in a long ship with a few men. It's not just a casual it's not like Theon just showed up in a ship. The Ironborn obviously came with him, so obviously there's something going on there. But where else could Theon go? Theon obviously has an altercation with Jon. I hope we see more of Theon and Jon, and I hope some sort of friendship can come out of whatever it is they had. Yeah, Theon did a really, really shitty thing, and even I say that's a really, really shitty thing that he did, but he was more doing it out of desperation and wanting some sort of familial connection. Not that it makes it justifiable, but you really have to get into Theon's head and think like Theon would think to properly discuss something like that. But as for predictions, if possible, I would really like to see him find out about Ramsay. He's either going to be really... I think he's going to have a bit of a mixed emotion, because the Stockholm Syndrome factor is really deeply rooted into him. So I think part of him is going to rejoice. Ramsay is dead. He doesn't have to worry about going back there anymore. But at the same time, I think it might set off a few panic bells, because for the longest time, Ramsay was the only influence in his life. And I think that's going to dramatically affect him. He's either going to be out for revenge, or he'll be upset and distraught that his quote unquote master or keeper or whatever is gone. It's a good thing that Ramsay is gone, because that means, one, that Sansa is safe, and I think he'd be relieved to know that Sansa is safe. They have formed a friendship, which I don't think they had growing up, but an experience like that would definitely bring the two of them together, and I hope that we get to see more of Sophie Turner and Alfie Allen on screen together, because if you listen to some of the interviews that Sophie and Alfie have together, they have such a nice friendship, familial chemistry on screen, and it's really nice to see. Not that the other cast members don't, but Sophie and Alfie just, I don't, like, Alfie admires Sophie Turner so much, and I think it's really sweet. So I would really like for them to meet up again, at least once, if they can't meet up permanently. I would like to see that, because I think that would be fun, and they just seem to like each other a lot. They like working with each other, and I would really like to see Jon and Theon, if a friendship can't be had between the two of them just because of what Theon did, I hope that there can at least be a certain level of forgiveness. And I think it would be really cool if Bran and Theon met up, because the last time that Bran saw Theon was in Winterfell, and I think Theon is very remorseful for his actions, and I would just like to see Theon give a genuine apology to Bran, because Bran is worthy of an apology. Theon put him in a really terrible position, but especially in the books, we really get to see Theon's remorse. So I think if he met up with Bran along the way somewhere, or that I just want to see Bran forgive him. That's really what I want. Whether that be in season 7 or season 8, I think that an apology is needed, and forgiveness is also needed. Maybe they won't be friends or brothers, but I think out of all the Starks, with the exception of Sansa, I think that Bran would be the most likely candidate to actually sit down and have a talk with Theon, and just let Theon talk, because I think of all of the Starks, again, with the exception of Sansa, that Bran would really understand Theon's struggles. Or maybe Bran could go back in some way, now that he's a three-eyed raven, and maybe stop Theon. But that would mess up the timeline, so I don't necessarily want that, but I just want Bran and Theon to have a talk, because, I don't know, Bran's an important character, and if anybody can forgive Theon, I think Bran would be the one to forgive Theon. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.